And welcome back to A Cage Sustained. I'm Chris Bernal, aka Krifu, and this is episode 2 of season 2. Recapping. Let's do that after we meet our players.
Hello, my name is Liza. I play Confidence Bright, the Halfling Inquisitor of Abadar and Commissioner of the KIA, who has just found herself thrown into a new adventure, literally by the hand of God. So that's exciting, but also maybe a little scary.
Hi, I'm Sylviana, and I play Ivor Locks, who is a 17-year-old human aerokineticist, and he is the head babysitter for the Sable Company. He is also the Sable Company's official representative to the KIA, and for the first time in Ivor's life, he has secrets. Really one big secret that seems to be maybe relevant, so he'll have to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Pooja, and I play Simran, who is a Sylph Magus, and she is an Academy student, and I don't know if she is their official representative or one of their official representatives to the KIA, but she's both things. And she is fully ill-equipped to deal with sick children and what's about to happen.
Sick children. I mean, we did have the sick child. Moving on.
I'm Homero. I play Nucine, an android arcanist, a transmuter of the Academy, and the official Academy representative for the KIA. And Nucine just doesn't understand what everyone's worried about. Everything's fine.
Oh, man.
And on to the guy who
I-
does know what everyone's worried about.
I'm Scott. I'm playing Ursion, the human fighter, and that's about it. Former armiger of the Hell Knights, but now reformed. Keeper of no secrets and real an open book. What you see is what you get, for sure.
What's a nose secret? Do you have to go spelunking to get those?
Yeah, you gotta go deep, very deep.
Secrets abound in the city of Corvosa. When we started last week in season 2, it was Moon Day, the 13th of Rova. The celebration of Market's Door, an Abadarian holiday designed to celebrate the harvest and the celebration of the foods that come in. Priests go out and bless the wares of the merchants. And the KIA finally was all together once more that evening for dinner. Confidence had official documents to sign, and it was the first time that most of them had seen Ursion in quite a while, when Zalara chose to reveal herself at that moment and perform another harrow reading. One with harrowing results indeed. The reading was interrupted by a mysterious pounding at the door. One Grau Soldado, lieutenant, I think, of the Corvosan Guard, who we encountered once before. Drunkenly. He was drunk and disorderly. His niece is sick, or was sick. And so, based on everything that we had seen, plus a well-timed vision from Abadar himself, the KIA went out there. They ran into Ashani Datri, a priest of Abadar and an old co-worker of Confidence's. And he expressed fear and concern that a disease was about to run rampant through the streets of Corvosa. So, we awake on the morning of Toil Day, the next day, Tuesday, for you lay folk out there. And I think we'll start with Ivor. He was the only one who slept through the cannons of the night before. So, Ivor, you wake up, I'm assuming, in your bed at the Great Tower.
Yes. I wake up in my bed at the Great Tower, feeling okay, but very worried because in Zalara's Hera reading, she said some things to Ivor about his past and his past being important here and having some kind of bearing with the problems going on. And for those of you who haven't watched episode 23, Return to the Plain Touch Society, Ivor learned that his mother was an infernalist. She had some dealings with devils, which is not unusual for someone from Cheliax. But that is not something that Ivor knew at all. And so he found out that that's how he got his powers, that his mother basically made a deal with the devil literally to take his father's powers from him and give them to Ivor instead. So this is all that Ivor is thinking about. Also his date with Simran, but just those two things and nothing else, because those are the most important things to him right now. And so he wakes up in the morning, and I think he's been having dreams about this and also about Simran, not together, sometimes together, and it's weird. He doesn't know how to handle it. Maeve was in one of them. And so he goes and he gets breakfast, and he sees Yigna, Bear Watcher.
Yes. A tall Shoanti man with a ruddy brown skin tone and long black hair and two braids. He probably sees you and comes and brings his morning tray over and sits down. I wonder if I have some good sound effects for this.
Brunch music.
And Yigna has always been part of Ivor's life since he was born. Yigna and Ivor's father, Lauren Locks, were best friends, I think.
Right.
And so Ivor has always associated him with his father, as someone who knew him very well. And so he's kind of a comforting, familial face for Ivor.
Maybe this one?
Chris, do you need some morning jazz or something?
No.
All right. Just got some ready if you
It's
ever need
been a
it.
while since we've been in the cafeteria at the Great Hall. This works. Good morning, Ivor. Yignel sits down.
Good morning. Can I ask you something?
Oh, of course.
I've been thinking lately about my parents, and how well did you know my mother?
Sita was a private woman. I knew a little bit about her past, but what I know about her, and he smiles at you, is that she loved to laugh. Good sense of humor. A little dark at times.
What do you mean dark?
Oh, everyone enjoys slapstick occasionally. She seemed to get more of a kick out of it than most.
Do you know when she came to Corvosa?
Well, it must have been about 20 years ago. Not long after not shortly before she met your father.
Did she, before she met him, do you know if there were places in Corvosa where she had ties, or why she came here?
She wanted to get away from her family, she said.
Huh.
You know, Chilaxians.
What do you? Well, I don't know.
Oh well, they've just always got a stick up their ass. Yeah. Kept getting in the way of it.
Grandparents. You're literally talking about my grandparents right now.
Well, I'm sorry, but they're probably really rigid and basic.
Rigid
Listen.
and basic.
Sita never spoke fondly of them, what little she spoke of them. The only family member she ever spoke of with regret is her sister.
She had a sister
A younger sister.
in Cheliax.
Yeah, I got the feeling that she wasn't there anymore.
Did she come to Corvosa?
Not that I know of. Sita never mentioned it.
Did she have friends in the Sable Company?
Of course.
Like good friends?
Well, you know, her and Henny were close.
Right, Henny, who's not around anymore.
Yeah, she's gone.
Anyone else?
Actually, well, you know old Olweth. She's the lead hippogriff trainer, actually. Olweth.
Oh yeah.
ULWTH. They were quite close. Sita had one of the main reasons she said she came to Corvosa was to see the hippogriffs.
Oh. Okay. Thanks, Siegna. I appreciate you reminiscing a bit about my parents. It's,
Of course, I'm always. He puts a hand on your shoulder and he's like, "I'm proud of you, Ivor. You've grown into an image that I think both of your parents would be proud of."
Oh, you have no idea. Sorry, what? I have to go. I told Confidence I would meet her at the KIA office this morning before it's too late, and I will bring extra waffles. So I'm just gonna do that now. Thanks for talking to me. Bye.
And he laughs and just kind of sees you off. Who's next? Ursion. Are you asleep?
Yeah,
I'm assuming in the
definitely
morning?
asleep. Yep. I am sleeping, I'm in my apartment, but didn't make it to bed. I'm sleeping in a large chair where I have my greatsword out and my whetstone is still rested in my lap, where I came back late and decided I'd sharpen my weapons and fell asleep due to sheer exhaustion. I've got kind of a flop sweat, I was fighting a fever and won.
All right. There's a knocking at the door. First low, not enough to disturb you, and then insistent a little bit later.
Okay.
Ursion! It's Corva's voice.
What time is it? Daybreak or? I need my
Before
sleep.
closer to noon.
Fuck. Okay, I go to the door. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, late night. Very late.
She comes in and she's got a rag around her and her kit in her left hand, like a doctor's bag, and just kind of pushes in the door and shuts it. Something's happening. As the scarf comes off around her mouth. Do you know what's going on out there?
I'm afraid I have a suspicion. A lot of people getting sick pretty fast.
Old
Red
Corvus
rash.
is plagued. From what I hear, the rest of the city isn't that bad. It's just
yeah.
this island.
Yeah, I was, in my duties. Otherwise, I ran across it last night and then had to do some work. And I was going to come find you when I woke up this morning.
Were you?
It seems like I missed the morning after all.
Right.
Sorry. What are you?
She takes
what
a
are you
look around. Can you describe the scene?
Sure. There is a sloppy studio flat, second floor, over probably a bar. It might be in the vicinity of the Sticky Mermaid, maybe. I think it's in the neighborhood.
Right. That's an old dock.
Yeah, it's an old dock. So he is got a bunch of weapons laid out, and his clothes are kind of strewn around. And his bed, you would look like it was slept in because he's never quite made it. in a while. I think he probably used to when he was in the.
Ooh, net 20.
Yeah, she notices some things.
So it's like she like looks around. She's like, "What were you? Did you sleep in your clothes?"
Yeah. It was like I said, I was just kind of passed out. Crazy nights.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Look, are you going
whatever.
to the agency today?
I am. Yeah, I'm meant to. I should be there by now, probably.
Let's travel together. The island's old Corvosa's. There's a tension running through the air, and something feels off.
Yeah, well, really. He looks at her like, do you think we should stick around then and keep an eye on, or do you think I should go? No, you're right. I can do more once I get with my people. He says.
I'd like to see what Miss Bright has going on.
Me too. He didn't just sleep in his clothing. He's wearing a chain shirt. So he goes to, and then he realizes he's still wearing armor. But he puts his sword belt back on and slips a bunch of like throwing axes into back sheets. And he looks at Corva and looks around for like a small bundle that he like waits for her to like look away, and then like tucks that into like a kind of a secret pouch that's like hanging near his back under his left armpit.
Nice. And like
Under
she
his
opens the
cloak.
door and she's like, she looks back at you right as you like finish tucking it away.
It's like, do we have time to stop at the dock to get breakfast? No, you're right. We should go. And the chances are,
Maybe when we get to the gold market.
I don't think Ira's going to be there, so the waffle possibilities are low. But
Endless? No, limited.
we'll see. I mean, we'll make do. That's fine. Let's go.
Okay.
And he, stumbles out after her, still kind of shaking off the stiffness of not sleeping in a bed. He's young. He can walk it off.
As you're walking, she like kind of tugs on your sleeve. Did you hear the cannons last night?
Yeah. Could miss it. Who could sleep through that?
Some people can, but
Lucky. Very lucky.
nobody knows what ship it was. Were you able to identify it? I'm sorry, she didn't know that you saw it.
No.
I knew that.
Right.
But
He offers that information. Like, I heard about the ship through a source. If all things being equal, I think it was probably a plague ship.
So Ursion, we know that you did see the ship last night. Can you make a knowledge local check?
I can, or I can try. I always try. Sorry,
That was what I was trying to trigger there, but I'm tripping over words. Metagaming. Oops.
That's fine. Let's
It's a double-edged sword. Metagaming.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do it, but you're also not supposed to do it.
Yeah, it's like never fair. Okay, I rolled a 23, 17 on the die.
You easily recognize it as a Nidalese merchant ship.
Okay. Nidalese?
Yes, from Nidal.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
I
I pass it along. It was a ship of Nidalese. Had the three Nidal. It was had the three lanterns designating that there were.
She stops. You saw it.
Like I said, I hear things.
Did you catch a name?
That's how it's so late. I did not. No. It's kind of complicated. It's slightly classified. Like again, Ms. Bright kind of runs a tight ship, which is funny because she used to be a sailor. It's a long story.
She used to sail? Well,
Yeah,
maybe she'll have a better idea then.
She generally has a better idea than anything I can provide, so we should go talk to her.
Let's go. And then you head off over the great big stone bridge. There are many bridges that connect Old Corvosa and New Corvosa.
Just Corvosa, right?
Right, but at the very northern point, not the very, but towards the northeastern side, there's a great big stone bridge. That's the main thoroughfare for wagons and such.
I think I pull like I pull my mask. I have, for some reason, I have a black, like, half mask,
Right.
like wrapped around like bandana style. I put it on so I have the appearance of a well-armed brigand, which is probably not the best look, but here we are.
Well, people are avoiding your birth. That's the word. But I will say, as you move through Jagari Place, you can hear quite the crowd surrounding the Bank of Abadar. At that point, we'll kind of like go up, and I think we'll go to the KIA at this point. Confidence. What's your morning look like so far?
I think having heard the cannons in the middle of the night, I probably didn't super well after that and got into the office. I mean, I walked across the street from my apartment to the office really early in the morning. And like the second that Tiora got in, like sent her with a message to Citadel Volshniak, like asking for any information they had heard, and also telling Field Marshal Croft that I have someone who wants to meet her, and kind of telling her I'm like sort of writing a note to her, like I'm kind of worried that something is happening. And on her card and about her guardsmen who I talked to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Tiora runs off. We'll go here. That works. And shortly thereafter, there's a knock at the door, and then the door just opens after the knock happens. And in walks an elderly woman. She smells a bit of fish. Where's my... No, I need the music. I need some sort of, like, just the ambiance doesn't really do it. So, an old woman walks in. Elderly woman. Older? She's probably like in her 60s, which in human years is pretty, especially in Golarian at this time, is fairly advanced, I guess. She's the smell of fish follows her as she comes in, and you can see she's got this like fishnet shawl with like just the lightest of cloth in there to keep her covered but still cool. Summer is not, well, it's over. The heat's not fully gone yet. She's a bit mousy with like dark gray hair that like comes down and wavy over her shoulders, and with jaundiced yellow eyes. And as she turns, "Hello? Is there someone working here?"
Yes, me, down here. I kind of wave from my short height.
Excuse me, are you the commissioner?
Indeed.
Miss
I
Bright.
assume you're the one who left me that note?
Yes, I'm Erie's Yellow Eyes. You know of me? Your assistant, she told you?
Do I know anything about this woman? And also, is this the woman from my vision?
Walking down the street? Yes, it is,
Yeah.
actually. Can I sit down?
Of course. And I sort of pull the chair out, and I kind of half smile at her and just say, I've been expecting you.
Make a knowledge local check.
Sure.
It's a tough one.
Well, let's see what I got. Hopes when I type right. Natural 20 for a 29.
Wow. You know who Erie's Yellow Eyes is. You know a secret that she keeps very closely. She's a fishmonger, so she's worked on the docks like all her life, and she is a were-rat. And so she looks at you and she's like, "Well, I have a problem, Miss Bright. And I hear that this is the place to bring problems."
As long as you're sure you want them solved, yes.
I do. Things are going wrong in the city. There's a tension in the air, almost like 2 months ago, when King Eardred died. Bless his heart. He was a fine man, not like his mother before. Oh, the stories I heard of Queen Domina and her crimson throne enforced raids on my people. My people, that's what I said. I am a proud lycanthrope. I have lived in this city for quite some time, and I have seen how bad the city of Corvosa can treat its were-rats. And well, I'm still a citizen, and I demand that the city does something about this.
What in particular are you concerned about at the moment, ma'am?
Oh, one of our own, a young man named Gearriggs. He's always been he's always been terribly rowdy, violent. He has long held a hate for the world above, and the humans, and well, your kind as well, miss. No offense meant. City streetwalkers, those who walk above. But with everything happening the last few days, I don't know if you know, but people are getting sick out there.
I'm aware of it, yes. Is this affecting your community as well?
Not as poorly, but I know that Gearriggs and his gang are planning on taking advantage of the chaos, of the tumultuousness. I didn't go to school. I'm a were-rat.
I see. Please, continue. I understand you perfectly.
I ask that you go and talk to him. Peacefully, okay? Not killing, or at least not trying to. I'm not gonna ask you to not defend yourself, because I've seen what he can do.
I prefer a nonviolent approach, when people let me get away with it.
That's what I hoped to hear. I heard what you did for the Shawati leader. 1,000 bones?
I say, yes, what he and his family had to deal with. I only wish I could have done more. I will try and find your kinsman, Gearrig. Do you know where I can find him?
Yes. You can go in through Old Corvosa. There's a sewer grate that will lead you down there. I don't know the way exactly, but I imagine it's not far from there. And she tells you the street corner that it's on.
Mm-hmm. I'm sort of glancing over her shoulder at the map that's up on the wall. I mean, maybe I even have her point out where it is on the map. Is it anywhere near the alley that I saw in my vision, by chance?
Well, I mean, even it's probably in the middle of Corvosa, so it can't be more than a 10-minute walk from the alley. Anyway.
Oh, okay, but not it's the same corner.
No,
Whoa.
Definitely not.
Cool. Just look.
This is closer to the Narrows.
Okay.
And
cool.
indeed, you knowing the area, it's like a sewer grate probably on a street that goes right along the water that floods the minute it rains or something.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna kind of look
not
at
even
it.
a horizontal grate, but literally a vertical one with spillage that comes out.
Yeah. I kind of look at it and think about it and look at her and say, I have a few other pressing matters of business, but I'll get to it as soon as I can.
I worry they've already been attacking people in Old Corvosa. But thank you for listening to me, young lady.
I'm gonna kind of sort of look around and say, you didn't happen to hear that disturbance last night, did you? The cannons?
Of course I did. I have enough trouble sleeping at night anyway.
I don't suppose you've heard anything about what happened.
Just that it was a ship sent to doom us all to plague. Me, The rumor mill's always churning.
Well, I'm happy to do you this favor, but I hope that you'll keep me in mind if you hear any juicy tidbits in your rumor mill.
Of course, should I return soon? I don't know the procedure for this. Do I take a ticket and come back with my number on it?
Why don't you tell me where to find you, and I'll bring you word about Gearrigs if you don't hear about it sooner.
Oh, well, all right then. And she gives you an address in Old Corvosa.
Yeah, I say. Hopefully I'll have good news for you soon. I say. Stay safe out there, and may Abadar bless you.
And Erie's yellow eyes nods, and she stands up and with her cane hobbles over to the door, and she says, thank you, Miss Bright." Nods and continues on her way. Daytime. The door doesn't even have time to shut before a slender elven frame with long black hair slides through. She's wearing leather armor, and she's got a backpack and some equipment on her. It is your old friend Leanthus, the half-elf. And with her, flying through the door behind her, is a white house drake, a pseudo-dragon named Rhyme.
That's that thing that we've met before, where you were like,
Yes.
Chris was like, Liza, you'll recognize this. And you were like, I recognize this. And we're all like, we have no idea what's going on. No one has told us anything.
Nobody asked me.
Fair.
So Lanthus comes in, and she's like, oh, hey. So this is the office, huh?
I thought we said lunch.
I know, it's just, I need a place to crash.
So you come to my place of business?
Well, you didn't answer your door.
I'm working.
I could just borrow the key real quick. Is that cool?
Why can't you stay with your family?
It's complicated. Staying with them means them knowing where I am, and I'd rather they not. Besides, Rhyme speaks, the house drake. She's the only character on the show that we've hired an actor to portray. Kim Cattrall is voicing her. And besides, have you seen what's going on out there? Don't you want to keep us safe from the big old plague?
Of course I do, but I also have citizens beating down my door demanding to know what's going on, and I don't need to explain who you are and what you're doing here. And I'm sorry. It's been a long night. Yeah, here, and I give her the key to my apartment.
So, is your murder board obvious? Can I see can Lanthus see it from here?
Maybe. I mean, I'm standing in the doorway and not necessarily letting her come in, but she could probably breeze past me. She's like that.
Right. She takes the key and she's like, I mean, last night, you know what happened, right?
I know what I heard. What did you hear?
I've heard some wild things, but let me drop off my stuff and we can do lunch after all.
I'm meeting some people. I might have to cancel on lunch, actually. I gave you my key. Why don't you tell me what you've heard? I know those pretty ears of yours pick up a lot.
Confidence, I'll be right back. And she turns and runs across the street. And she's hurrying. Rhyme, however, sits where she is like a fat cat on top of one of the bookshelves. Looks like she's gonna let you in on the secret after all.
Oh.
I told her not to, but hey, you're in a position of power now. Maybe you can help us.
That's exactly why she's back, I assume.
Oh, lucky coincidence.
There's been a lot of those lately.
Okay. So she comes back. This is really hard for me. Lanthus sits down, like you're across the table. There's like steaming cups of tea, maybe real quick. Normally I don't tell you what I'm doing with my life, and you don't tell me about yours.
Hasn't been
Right,
much to tell until recently.
That's worked, but now I think I need your help.
What's going on?
I'm tracking someone. I can't tell you anything about them. It's too dangerous. But they're tracking someone. And that's why I'm here. There's a woman. A Nidalese criminal. A necromancer. The person I'm tracking apparently heard rumors that she might be here.
How honest is she being with me?
Make a sense motive check.
Yeah, I would love to. 34?
Nothing she has said is a lie. It's been, she's clearly like not saying something, but it's obvious what she's not saying.
And... all right.
That's all I know. I don't know her name, the criminal. I don't know what she did or why my target is tracking her here.
I'm going
But
to
you
think
got
for
her-
a second, and I'm going to look over my shoulder at the poster of Rolf Lamb and be like, you heard anything about that guy? Speaking of necromancers.
So, like, you point her towards the poster
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So she, like, gets up and walks over and pulls the red curtain, like, aside all the way that was, like, half covering it. And she's like, looks. The ship. Last night. You're tracking it. Or doing something. No, I don't know who that is.
What do you know about the ship?
Just that it arrived and was cut down before. Everyone's talking about it bearing the plague, though. Oh, I forgot to make a fortitude save for Leanthus. Is she? No, she's not sick. She's not. She has a good fortitude save. Well, she doesn't, but it's high enough. I think it'll be fine.
Yikes.
Sure, she doesn't
Hold
need a
on. I have
helping
to look
hand,
up. I
just
have to
in
open her
case.
character sheet now. Actually, I can't do this.
Oh boy.
I'm glad I finished it though. This is the second like draft that I took at her build. Like a couple different builds that I was like playing with. The first one I made in like
I've taken some drafts at her build too.
right.
Hey!
The first one I did in
Sorry.
April, but we hadn't actually
Really
met
sorry.
her, and so when I like introduced her last week, I was like, okay, now I have a better idea of like who she is and what she's doing. No, she's sick. Oh shit.
Do I know that is a better question. Probably not.
Yeah, she took 4 points of charisma damage.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely notice that.
So, like, you can see on her chest, like, coming up, like, maybe she's covered it, but, like, as she's looking, she, like, starts sweating, and then there's, like, a, like, a racking cough that sounds very similar. I need to write this down. Very similar to what you heard from, what was her name? The
little
daughter.
girl.
Yeah.
God, we're such good people.
Brianna.
Brianna.
Yes.
I remember her.
The
She and Ivor
babysitter.
had a nice conversation, yeah. He loves kids.
Speaking of plague, how are you feeling?
I think I've got it. And she like sits back down. That's why I couldn't. I'm afraid that I wasn't staying with my family confidence. I was staying in some shitty inn in North Point.
North Point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not the Three Rings Tavern, because that's just too obvious. But somewhere nearby.
You should go get yourself a potion or something. This
You
is
haven't seen
serious.
what's happening at the bank. It's a mob.
Fuck.
And it's at that point that Ishani Datri enters into the office.
It's a party at the KIA.
Right, he's wearing his white robes with like the golden keys and kind of like a belt and sash around it. His like golden vestments and his holy symbol, a silver symbol of a key hanging from his neck, and he just kind of like, oh, I made it. Oh, I'm. He sees the two of you, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner, I didn't mean to interrupt. It's just, well, we had plans.
Yes, yeah, sorry. I didn't intend to. Yes, we have an appointment to keep. Look, I turned to Leanthus. You should go get some rest. I'll come back for you later. All right? We can take care of this.
I'll probably be fine. I'm sure. I've gotten over worse. And Ashani like looks at her eyes wide, and he's like, "Oh no, it's the blood veil. She's got it."
Could you guys have given it a more sinister name?
I mean, I didn't pick it. Here,
Just saying.
I haven't cast any of my miracles today. I can remove it for you. Well, I think, because actually you have to make a caster level check against the DC.
Mm.
So, Brianna
it-
got lucky.
Is
Fuck.
a caster level check a skill check?
No,
I think I've asked you this question before.
I think a caster level check is just your level.
Mm.
Let me double check. Remove disease, a level 3rd cleric spell. Level 3rd. Level 3, a
Level
3rd
third.
level. 1d20 plus the caster level against the DC of the disease, of each disease affecting the target. So it could cure multiple. I can heal you of your malady, miss. And she's like, sure. Well, what are you going to charge me? And he's like, if you're a member of the Corvosan Intelligence Agency, nothing at all. And he nods to you. I've been given special permissions, Commissioner.
I
And
see.
he's like very proud about this.
I'm glad to hear it.
But then he also looks to you for permission. Like, is this right?
I'm going to say, well, and I think Confidence has a little moment. He goes, yes, I think you might as well.
And he nods and begins chanting, verbal and somatic, one standard action later. No, he fails. I'm sorry. Let me try again. I have it prepared once more. There we go. 22 on the roll. The first one was 11. And he tries once more. Abadar, please take the mallet, this disease, this awful disease away from this woman. And he does this. The golden light of the first vault begins to hover over her, and the red pox that was creeping up her chest disappears. Thank you. And she grabs him. Oh, bless Abadar, I guess. He's all right. Thank you.
I'm gonna say, look, I really have to go. There's work to be done. I'll see you later.
Okay, I'll be right across the street, but Confidence, you hear anything? Let me know. I'm on standby. She
I'm
looks
gonna,
at you and
I'm gonna
nods.
look back up at her and say, I expect a little bit more. This goes both ways, Len.
You tell me what you need.
I just nod.
And she nods, and Rhyme flies out behind her with like a single backwards glance. Where are our academy students?
At the academy? I'm assuming classes
Ooh.
during the day.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, because it's a
Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, I just had to double check for Ashani. He does not have Blood Veil. Great.
I don't like this at all.
It's scary. I mean, remember when Confidence got that filth fever, and almost gave it to Ursion, or did give it? I don't
I
remember.
did.
And we took that straight to the bank, got some
Really?
healing at half price because it was in person, rather than the potion, which is the full price. So yes, but our academy students, where art thou, and what art thou doing?
I mean, depending on the time, if we're backtracking a little bit to see where they were, you would see Nucine staying up all night over their desk, working on another wand, kind of wrapped in leather. It's like a leather strap, and kind of burning it into the wand using just pure arcane energy, and not sleeping. And then after that, would just assume that they would meet up with Simran outside the gates before heading to the KIA.
Well, Simran would have. I think Simran did wake up when she heard those cannon blasts, and knowing that Nucine did not sleep, she would have actually went and found found them in the middle of the night, and just be like, "What do you think that was?" Kind of freaking out because Simran has lost all chill, given everything that's been happening lately, and it's a little unusual for Simran to be this worked up about anything, really. But she's freaking out. And then, upon realizing that there's really nothing that you can do in the middle of the night when there's unknown cannons going off somewhere, she would have, they would have decided when to meet to go to the KIA, and Simran would have tried to go back to sleep. So when she shows up to meet Nucine to walk over to the KIA together, Simran has definitely looked like she's had no sleep.
Right.
And is suffering from the consequences of that.
Right, and Simran, on your walk over through the quad, you notice that everyone's talking about the academy is shut. Its doors have shut once more.
Oh shit.
Everyone's talking about Blood Veil. Mostly theoretically. It's like you're probably one of the few academy students who gets out there into the greater city and like has people out there that like she interacts with daily, and so I feel like a lot of the students are probably very academic about it.
Well, once when Simran finds Nucine, she'll be like, "Have you heard what's going on out here?"
I haven't really looked into it. I've been busy and just kind of holds up the wand. But I did hear that the cannon's taking down a ship.
Oh. What does that mean? Does that mean the disease spreads into the water?
It would depend on the type of the disease. Some are airborne, some would transfer through people, but I don't know enough about this. That reminds me, I should probably take this to Headmaster. And Nucine kind of produces the the empty vial where they put the handkerchief that that Brianna had coughed blood onto.
Well, that you make a good point. I don't. Do you know what we can do about this place being locked down? Because we need to go talk to Confidence and the rest of the KIA.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been locked out before. I'm sure we can find a way out. And Nissan
Well,
just kind of
how about
Mhm.
I'll come with you. Seeing as how I am also a representative of the Academy on the KIA. No, that sass was mine, not hers.
So Nissan will head towards the headmaster's office to show the infected handkerchief.
All right.
Prior.
As you're stepping out, you see a familiar figure actually headed in your direction. The two of you. She is Vivana Datri, a Vodran woman with a rich brown skin tone. Her black hair is covered today in a like a dark red silk that she's got draped over her head, and just kind of tightly wrapped around her in a secure, confident, but like maybe comfortable look. And she seems like rushed, like she's been up talking to people and been very busy. Yes, you too. Hello. We have to talk.
Yes, we do.
Wait, where are you going?
To see the headmaster. We have information about the disease spreading. Plague?
You're just speaking to Headmaster Ornelas willy-nilly?
Not Willie.
You should be going through me. I am your sponsor.
Right, that was an oversight on my part.
Is she talking to just Nusine or also Simran?
She's talking to both of you.
Okay. It's like, I don't know. Nusine said that they wanted to go talk to the headmaster, so here I am.
Well, we shall all go together then. She kind of like looks at the two of you. God damn it. Students.
Does she look
If
beautiful
only
as
there
she's
weren't,
upset
if
with
only
us?
we didn't need them.
Okay. Clomp, clomp, clomp. Off we go.
So, clop, clop, you all head off. Towards the headmaster's office, and through this great big ivy-covered building. Madam Secretary, Hoopla Brass Ring, is of course sitting there, and she's like, sorry, the headmaster isn't in right now. And like everyone like kind of stops and looks at each other. Well, that just won't do. We need to speak with him, Hoopla. And Madam Secretary looks a little like, oh, use my first name, well, will you?
She did when she was a teenager.
Is the headmaster on campus?
I am not at liberty to say that right now, Miss
It would be
Garvey.
really weird if the campus is locked down and he's not here.
Well, he is a archmagus in his own right. I'm sure he can go where he pleases.
Right. Well, are any of the diviners around? They could perhaps send for him, right?
They could. What is the need?
Well, I've got information regarding the plague or this disease that's spreading.
The blood veil. That's what the kids outside were calling it.
The Academy's official position on the plague is nothing. We shall keep our doors shut and stay removed.
Right.
Headmaster Ornelas told me such. That is why we are keeping our doors shut.
Some of us have family outside. Most of us have family outside.
Well, Your family should be secure, knowing that you will be safe and sound from the Blood Veil, Hopla Brassring says. Vivana just crosses her arms and stares at her. And Hopla looks up. It didn't work on me when you were young, Missy, and it won't work on me now.
Nusine smiles slightly, seeing that happen.
Vivana just like sucks her teeth for a moment. Darling, please tell us. Let the headmaster know that we can stop by to see him. Thank you. Like her demeanor just suddenly fully 180s and come children with me.
Simran does not break eye contact as she walks away.
7 p.m.
Well, that just won't do. Field trip, we must find a way out of the walls. Any ideas? You're just standing in the quad, and she's looking at the two of you expectantly. Lucine? You were so quiet during our enchantment classes. Maybe this is more your forte?
Well, I haven't completed, so I don't think I would be allowed to open a hole through the walls yet. But perhaps there's a secret entrance or something through the vaults? The vaults reach everywhere. You've been here for quite a long time.
The vault
That
what I was
long.
thinking about. Little boy.
Does she know? God, I'm just actually should double check. Does she actually know teleport? Maybe she can leave. Just leave you behind.
Is she an enchantress that knows? It's wasted on her.
I thought you couldn't operate within the walls of Hogwarts, Chris.
Luckily, this is not Hogwarts.
Hogwarts is too ethical.
Is it though?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, they like this place. They throw 11-year-olds into danger.
That is true.
And then I have a question once you're done looking that up.
She does not have it prepared right now.
How unfortunate.
God
That you know something but you can't prepare. I guess we'll have to wait until tomorrow for
The-
you to.
The question I had.
I could
Sorry.
wait till tomorrow, actually. My business isn't as pressing as yours might be.
DM question for you. It's been a really long time. So in the first Plain Touch Society episode, they went into these vaults that went all under the city. Do I remember correctly that they also went under the academy?
Yeah, that is correct. You met a man whose name I forget.
Tapio Leopold.
Thank you. Tapio Leopold, who took you down into the vaults proper, but you met him directly underneath
Yeah.
the academy.
Okay. And it's been a really long time. I think he was referred to by name in front of Simran.
Right.
So Simran knows. So Simran will be like, well, there might be another way, but we have to find someone for that. Do either of you know a man named Tapio?
How do you know Tapio?
Long story, met in passing, but if we can find him, if you know where he might be, and we can convince him, he might have a way to get us out of here.
I mean, I know where to find him outside the walls. I've never found him within. I suppose it's possible. Could I do like a knowledge engineering to see if I could
Knowledge Tapio check?
Knowledge engineering
try to
works
connect?
for sure.
Yeah, like
Right.
places where I've been.
Can you move your mic down just a little bit? You're a little.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying
There
not
we
to
go.
not
That's
sniffle.
much better. I understand.
Did the con crud catch you like a week
I think-
late?
I think so. I've been handling it since Thursday. All right, let's see. 25.
Ooh.
25. I think you know of a particular basement where you've probably met with him before,
Mhm.
like once. Like he was like, "Hey, I'm not going to be in our meeting spot outside the walls, but you can find me in this abandoned room in a cellar in one of the old like outlying houses."
Okay. I could probably direct us there.
Oh,
The other
great. I mean,
alternative is, I mean, and Nusine looks at Daughtry, Professor Daughtry, and goes, "The other alternative is like if you could donate a pint of your blood, I could probably get us out the same way you could."
Let's try your secret passage.
All right, I was looking for diplomacy. All right,
And
worth a
I
shot.
think,
Worth a
like,
shot.
and I
As
think
we're-
probably like
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say probably like what was your dungeoneering? 21?
25.
25.
25. I feel like 2.5 hours later, you emerge somewhere in the University of Corvosa, in that old shed, essentially, where you first met Impa, Peren, Simran.
Oh, wow.
So by that point, time's caught up
Yeah.
Mhm.
to where everyone is, and Vivana curtly nods, like kind of cursing and like brushing off the dirt from her.
Sounds about
Yeah.
right.
And she's like, "We should be back within the walls tonight if we're going to meet with the headmaster tomorrow. So, right." And she just nods and walks
Mhm.
away.
I could have pressed it. Never mind. Hey, so Nusine, how do you know Tapio?
I've met him maybe 2 or 3 years ago. He's kind of the first people that got me into alchemy.
Oh.
I'm not an expert in it like he is, but he showed me a few things. I was able to make some basic little trinkets, but nothing like a full-on potion like he can.
He
And ever
trained you
since,
then?
no, not more of. I preferred to eat alone, and when he noticed me, he invited me over.
Oh.
Sometimes this boy he's with, Kleist, would join us, but it would be mostly me and him, and we would just go into the vaults, and he had goggles so he could see in the darkness, and I could just see, so we would just hang out there for hours, sometimes just silently, sometimes talking. He's lived here all his life. He's a very
Oh.
kind person, surprisingly, but also very much on his own.
Yeah. I can see. That's really nice. I mean, I only know him as like a friend of a friend, so I was just curious. Yeah, he does seem like a good
Who did you meet him?
good person to know. Like I said, friend of a friend,
Yeah, but which friend?
parents, someone who knew my parents. He would not my personal friend.
Oh, okay.
Simran is secretly very glad Newseed is terrible at sense move.
And Nusine accepts it, and okay.
You got a 8 charisma person trying to lie. Anyway, once out, we will attempt to head straight to the KIA, but keep an eye out for what's going on. And as a precaution, Simran's just going to like take a piece of cloth and wrap it around her mouth and nose, just
Right.
in case.
Right. No, as many people are at this point.
Nusine
You
will
can definitely
mimic them.
see, like almost every other person that you see on the street, like is coughing.
Con crud in the game.
I know. I was just thinking, like face masks in every place of life.
I was half tempted to wear mine.
When like after a couple winters of riding the subways in New York, like I need some. It's a real thing.
Mhm.
With that, anything else before we all convene at the agency? Great. Then let's take a quick 5-minute break.
All right.
Dear viewers, thank you for hanging out with us. quick bio break. Stand up, stretch the limbs, get the blood pumping. All of that goodness. Get some water because hydrate bot will shame you otherwise.
Haven't heard from them in a while.
They'll
Yeah,
pop up
hydrate bot. Come on.
any moment
Don't
now,
you care
probably.
about us?
I'll talk to them. Don't worry about it.
Okay, Android to bot.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right. Be back in a
And
little
with that,
bit.
we'll be right back. And we're back. I think at this point everyone has convened with the Corvosan Intelligence Agency. Is that correct? Are we
You
waiting
are
for them
correct.
before we head off
Mhm.
to the Citadel?
Yeah, everyone. Are we waiting until afternoon? Because that would be when Ursian would show up, right?
Because he slept in.
Yeah, probably shortly afternoon, like 1 p.m., which everyone else was able to get up in time. Even those who had to spend 3 hours trekking through tunnels.
Yeah, I know I'm lazy. I'm sorry. And that's simply what it is.
That's all it is. Ashani is kind of there wringing the skirts of his robes a little bit in his hands. I want to thank you all for doing this. I've spoken with the Archbanker, Archbanker Tuttle himself, and he knows what's going on. Several of my brethren have taken ill already. Members of the priesthood who didn't have any interaction with patients. But the Archbanker has gone to talk with the leaders of the other faiths, Pharasma, Serenre, even Asmodeus, to try and form a coalition of sorts. And so the bank agreed that I would be, I suppose, an official representative to your agency and the Corvosan Guard, if possible.
Well, we're very lucky.
Yeah, welcome. Good to have you.
It seems fated.
Right.
I
So
agree.
they don't know anything about how this is spreading then. If it doesn't seem to be from direct contact.
It does. That is a method as well. But
But-
no, we're not exactly sure.
Because look, I know from my times as a babysitter, kids get sick all the time, and they come in, especially after summer vacation, and they're sneezing and coughing, and then they're taking each other's mucus and rubbing it on their faces and rub it in their eyes, and they stick their finger in a pile of mucus and stick their finger up their nose, and everybody gets sick.
Yes, I
Please
understand.
stop.
But they're doing so without any scientific reasoning. They're filthy.
Right, exactly. Kids are just filthy. And this is a normal thing. And this is a thing we understand that it's eyes, nose, contact, coughing on each other. But if priests who have not had any contact with patients are now getting sick, I mean, this seems like a different beast altogether.
It's concerning.
Could people
magical in nature.
Could people who show no symptoms be able to infect others?
I don't think so. But our spells and traditional tactics aren't working.
So it's something else.
We're not sure. Most of the patients we've treated so far have come from North Point and Old Corvosa. It seems to be spreading faster through the lower classes.
So Chris, Corva's with me still?
Right. Corva is there.
Okay. So I were looking at probably new scene. I know they have a history. I guess Corva now has a history with everybody. But I look around and say, so what about the ship that was taken down? I saw that it was the markings of it were marked it from being from Nidal.
Really?
Yeah, I must have come across the bay recently.
You saw it?
Yes, I did.
What were you doing out so late?
It's sold, Doc. There's plenty of things that need doing. And I was doing said things.
Checks out.
I find it's best not to pester him with questions, Commissioner. Corvo says, like, nodding in your direction.
I grin at Corva and I say, "Pestering people with questions is what I do for a living, Corva."
Better you than me.
Wonderful. Back to the ship. Probably from maybe fresh from this rock, maybe, or I don't know. I mean, why would it? I assume they were trying to make landfall and were shot down for that reason, but that's just a guess and not a good one. I've never seen anything like that.
Heard rumors that it had the lanterns on it, but if you saw it with your own eyes.
I did. That's why I was a little late arriving. I had to recuperate. I say, rubbing the remnants of the black eyes and split lip. It's been a eventful few weeks.
And it went down, like no survivors, nothing?
I didn't get close, and it was in, like you said, the late evening. I saw what I saw from some great distance, but I saw enough.
But we all know that the ship isn't what caused this. It's been happening before.
Clearly not. But
But it's
it
getting worse.
erupted
a ship
overnight,
went
though.
down?
wait, did you
You
sleep
didn't
through the
hear
cannon?
Cannons? What?
The ship.
I thought we were just dealing with plague and like people getting sick, like Brianna, like that little kid.
We are.
Ivor, my friend, it's all connected. I fear. And we saw the ship, and you, or at least not we, but Confidence,
ship.
you saw the ship in your
I pointed
vision.
the ship on the murder wall.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the curtain is still pulled back.
oh,
I think.
then I
Yes.
point to the curtain, and then I put my hand down really smoothly. Nothing back there.
Shawnee goes over and starts like studying it, and Corva's like, "But I don't understand. The disease almost seems to have erupted overnight. The ship must be the cause."
Mm.
The eruption, perhaps. But
Perhaps we're meant to think that it's a red flounder. Is it?
That's the
Salmon.
Perhaps red salmon.
Salmon's
in that-
the fish of choice in Corvosa.
So it's a red salmon that the ship maybe was meant to implicate somebody, but we do know that before the ship even was anywhere near landfall that there were symptoms, though infrequent. There might have been an imperfection in some kind of frame job or
Yeah. We
deception
don't
of
even know
some
if there
sort.
was anybody on that ship.
Or if this
True.
was purposeful, it could have been multiple avenues to ensure that it made it across. Because I mean, if someone is able to disease an entire city, they would ostensibly know that they would shoot down a ship. If that was
I'm
the
gonna
case.
Who would?
I got some information this morning that a rogue necromancer from Nidal might be in the city. And the ship is Nidalese. That doesn't seem like a coincidence to me.
The map with the red with the skull with the manacles coming out of the eye. It was unmistakable.
Perhaps whoever this necromancer is, this is some experiment of theirs. It's a theory.
Perhaps we have clues to look into. We haven't had a chance to investigate the things you saw. He looks over at Ivor, and you hear and perhaps some waffles might be in order for us to think correctly.
Of course, Ursian, I'd be happy to oblige. And
Oh,
Ivor
I've-
reaches into his pack and pulls out a little sack of waffles that are at this point kind of cold and a little bit soggy, and he lays them out, and then he takes them one at a time and he puts them on his hands, and then little flicks of lightning come out and crisp up the edges.
Whoa. This service, I swear.
And then he looks at Simran.
Simran is smiling.
Shani turns from the board, but you've got these other illustrations. When did you do this? He looks at you, Confidence.
Last night, I had a vision. Well, several. And actually, I kind of go up to the one that's pegged over our office, the door knocker, and I point at it and say, I figured this one out already. I had a visitor this morning. I had several. It's been busy. And I go to reach for a waffle, and then I look at Ivor and I go, when is the last time you washed your hands? And I pull my hand back.
Yesterday?
Anyway.
Whatever doesn't kill you
The
might
lightning-
cripple you.
Yeah, I mean,
the
the
lightning
heat
is...
probably made it okay, right? Like, cooked meat is safer than uncooked
if
meat?
you electrocute germs, then they can't hurt you. I don't have the
What's a
plan.
germ?
Sure.
Yeah, right.
That's what when the kids stick the mucus fingers up their noses, that's what's on them.
It's a theory. Ursine pulls out his vial of like fish sauce and starts spreading it on the waffle.
Oh!
Ew.
Oh, God!
Oh.
I
Gross
don't
taste.
understand, Shani. A vision? What do you like fortune telling?
No, like from Abadar.
It's a diviner thing.
But you're not. You were. You'll have to forgive me, Commissioner. You were cast out of the bank. I don't understand.
The bankers cast me out. That doesn't mean that Abadar did.
Hmm.
Sing.
And he
I
looks.
kind
His eyes like linger on the golden key that like mirrors the silver key on his own chest, the one hanging on your chest.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I won't question his ways then.
Yeah, it's smart not to.
I'm gonna look at Ashani and just say, I can tell that you have some problems with the way that the bank does things. I do too, and sometimes people who are outside of it are the only people who can change it for the better.
Can you make a diplomacy check for me, please?
Yeah.
Fight the power.
Gotta rep my
Slowly
Inquisition.
convert all the avatars.
It's only if only confidence was good at diplomacy.
If only she had like
know,
a
right?
plus 15.
Not
She's-
quite.
It's like
But-
plus 13.
Oh,
wow,
that's
it
a
is.
natural 20 though, so 33.
Whoa, that's your 33.
I'm
That's your
not
second
surprised.
net 20.
I know.
Talk about
And his
confidence.
eyes like kind of light up, and the sides of his like mouth just like instantly turn up into a smile. I knew that last night that Abadar connected us. I mean, it just felt. And he just nods. I understand. Yes, I understand. And I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, seems like your priesthood kind of went fucked up when they kicked out confidence. But hey, you know, these things balance out, right?
Everything
Like, yeah,
does.
I thought like because like the scale is. Anyway,
Well done. You've been teaching them well.
my wit increases, grows sharper.
I try really hard not to laugh.
I look at my
point
Corbin
back.
like, see, good influence, right? These are these.
So at this point, Tiora comes back. She was sent off to Citadel Volshniak. And she's like, oh well, it's a part. Blah, 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 blah. Like Tiora's accent is just the hardest for me to nail down. She's a middle-aged woman, late 30s, which is middle-aged in Galarian. On Earth, you're still a child in your late 30s. No, that's not true.
It's
Um,
kind
Depends
of
who you are.
or where you live. Well, all right then. Well, this is quite a party. Sorry, is the commission? There she is, Commissioner.
Yes. What news from the Citadel?
Oh, I've got something for you. She's gathering the gods. There's some sort of meeting, and here, let me give you this. And she hands you a piece of paper. There's quite a bit on it, but damn it, where the fuck? Okay, here it is. I'm gonna pull it open, and can you see it now? Can you see it on the Roll20?
No.
No.
I clicked show to players. No, doesn't work. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me just put it in your journals. She hands you a slip of paper that says "Attention," and you can tell that it's been written in like a very neat cursive print, actually. Would you like to read it, Confidence? Or you don't have to read the whole thing because it is quite long. But she
I
hands it
can
to you.
summarize if you want.
Maybe we'll just let the commissioner. Everybody stares at Confidence
yeah.
as she's reading this note.
What does it say? What does it say?
The queen, she's establishing some queen's positions that are gonna try and heal this.
Oh, okay.
I heard at the guard that they've been up all night trying to get this together, Tiora says. I mean, it seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah, the thing that worries me is this part. Impeding or distracting the queen's physicians or the Grey Maidens in pursuit of their duties is punishable by imprisonment. Impersonating one of the queen's physicians or Grey Maidens is punishable by death. Purposely spreading blood veil is punishable by torture and then death.
That's reasonable.
Oh, well, that makes it sound like that the queen herself maybe thinks that this is being spread on purpose.
Looking over Confidence's shoulder, Simran will also point out the line that says, they are to be allowed access to any home or building they deem necessary in the course of their duties, so no place is private anymore. They can come in here if they want to go through all of their stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't somebody on the Grey Maidens have an axe to grind with someone here? Look at Ursia.
Your point.
Well, it might be a hurt, might be a help. Certainly, we know that some people will take advantage of this for their own gain. People always do.
Yep.
Someone might give out free meat.
Oh, I saw quite a few Grey Maidens escorting some folk over to the Citadel on my way back.
Grey Maidens.
It looked like the Field Marshal was getting ready to give a speech of sorts to her troops.
Perhaps we ought to hear what she has to say.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Certainly an idea.
I have a contact in the Grey Maiden.
You do?
Yeah. This woman, Henny, who used to be in the Sable Company, I've known her all my life. She kind of helped raise me.
I think most of you have met her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember? She's in the Grey Maidens now. I guess the pay was better. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her since, but if we did want to see if they could lay off the office or, I don't know, find out some information, I could maybe try to talk to her.
She may not be trusted anymore. I mean, I have a contact in the Grey Maidens. You may have met her. She tried to kill us twice.
What
I
are you
seem to
trying
recall.
to say about Henny?
I'm trying to say Henny might not be
Trying to
Henny
kill us?
anymore.
To be
Or-
fair, Audrey did try to kill us before she joined the Grey Maiden.
Yeah,
I mean-
I think that says more about who she is as a person.
Whoa, oh, Ivor. It's a complicated situation. You'll understand when you get to be grown up like me. I say, being 4 years older than you.
Uh-huh.
These are the times when, these are 4 or 5 years that are very crucial to people's development, according to Ursian at least. You'll understand, but I'm just saying this person might not be trusted anymore. I mean, the Queen has maybe these new loyalties run deeper, right?
Well, I'm not suggesting that we tell her all of our deepest, darkest secrets.
But do you have deepest, darkest
Probably.
secrets? We look at each other for a moment like,
I just
Bluffing.
No.
just mean that if we wanted to get in touch with them, I have a contact. That's it.
I think that's a great idea, Ivor.
She used to change my diapers, I think.
I mean, maybe he might tell us
Ursion.
something useful.
Corva says, Ursion, did your contact used to change your diapers?
I don't want to know that.
Oh boy.
Maybe
One time.
Oh.
You know what?
Stop. No.
Last time I tell you a personal story, Cora.
I say it might be good to hear what the field marshal has to say, but I did have that visitor this morning, and there's an issue. I'm not sure exactly how urgent it is, but some potential unrest, looting, maybe in Old Corvosa. I have a tip, and we might be able to stop it before it gets bad.
Who was the visitor?
Older woman. I'm kind of looking around, like Corva's here and Ashani is here. I think I trust both of them. And I explained the visit that I had earlier from Erie.
Corva's eyes are like, oh wow. Like you met a were-rat? Like she came out to you?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I've treated one or two before.
Same, except treated, I mean experimented. You've met one alive.
New scene.
New
That's
scene?
the kind of talk I wouldn't put out there, if we run into these people.
I'm just saying I'm familiar with them. They're a familiar race to me.
The Hell Knight have come across a few in their time as well. Lycanthropes are not looked upon kindly by most authorities. They're natural thieves, and
Well, they came to us for help.
Is there anything that's a natural thief?
yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
What do you mean? Like lycanthropes, like were-rats?
Yeah, like
I mean,
were-rats.
Aren't most people
Alright.
formed by their circumstances?
yes, but things that can transform into vermin, can see in the dark, and are incredibly sneaky.
You know what,
tend to.
Simran? I think that's absolutely true. People are
Mhm.
formed by their circumstances and not their genetics. In fact, I don't think that their genetics even matter at all.
You could have said that they're good at being thieves, and that would be accurate.
That's.
I'm just saying, not everyone is born to a destiny.
Ursion, people have been saying the same thing about Varisians for decades, for years.
And the
And
Shawanti.
and Shawanti. And you know what? I mean, you grew up outside of Corvosa. I had to deal with Mother's reputation.
Yeah, well, but the old hatchet. I mean, it's not something that I've been freed from as entirely. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you guys are misrepresenting me completely. I'm just saying they are very good at sneaking, and if you're very good at things, you tend to do those things because you can be very accomplished at it. I should have gone into dancing. I agree. Maybe singing. But as it turns out, I've been pushed into seeing through a certain talent that I have, and so I do that.
Right. That is
So
reasonable.
your
Ursion.
circumstances shaped you, is what you're telling us.
Indeed. And if I'm sure that if Confidence hadn't heard the voice of Abadar, she wouldn't be doing the work she's doing either. So we've all been kind of led down a path, and I'm sure this were-rat has as well. But I'm all for helping people who are in trouble.
Speaking of being led down a path, Nusine, can we go back to the list of races you're familiar with because you've experimented on their dead bodies?
I'd rather not return to that obvious joke
sure.
because clearly I won't be able to sleep at night if I have to think about new scene poking and prodding.
It's not just Missy, it's the Academy in general.
Right, yeah.
Tiora speaks up. Sorry to interrupt, but just wanted to say that it looks like it looked like the field marshal was about ready to give his.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
walk and talk.
Yeah, we do
Alright
the
then.
old walk and talk.
I can give you a list later.
So Corva and Ashani are gonna come with.
He starts scribbling.
I actually have a list.
It's a quick 5-minute, 10-minute walk from here.
How's the mood on the street as we walk that way?
Little quiet. It seems kind of empty. People are staying indoors for now. It seems like. But as you get to the imposing granite and iron walls of Citadel Volshniak's outer curtain, you can hear echoes of forcefully spoken and unintelligible words. As you walk in, you can see dozens of Corvosan guards in their crimson uniforms, standing in front of a rickety wooden stage that seemed to be hastily built in the last day or two. And Field Marshal Cressida Croft is pacing back and forth on top of it. She's a short but fit woman in her own crimson uniform, with dark brown hair cut short in a very easy and manageable style. With her is several Corvosan Guard lieutenants, grizzled-looking veterans. But behind her is a strange group of people. Two people, one a tall and roguishly handsome-looking man holding a doctor's case, and next to him, a member of the Grey Mace. She's holding her helmet in her hand, steel silver armor with this crimson plumage, and she's got this short blonde hair that's been hacked below her ears, and you can see on her eyes are scars, 2 X's that look deliberate. There's a group of people behind them in dark clothes. An ominous-looking group wearing cowled robes of oily-looking leather, supple gloves, and wide black hats. Some of them grip heavy canes, others dark satchels, but each of them wears a dark goggled mask tapering to a pointed beak. And Cressida Croft is speaking. You will escort Dr. Davalis and his physicians in their royal duties wherever those might take them. Furthermore, you are to consider orders from any of the Queen's Grey Maidens to be as binding as those of any superior officer in the Guard. You are the Corvosan Guard. She stops pacing and looks at her troops. You will not balk. These are dire times, and your city needs these healers. Your city needs you. And she stares at them all, and then looks up as she sees your group coming in through the gates. Your patrol leaders have your assignments. Dismissed! And as the guard starts to wander off, there's mumbling, grumbling, whispers between them all as they start kind of just spreading out.
As we're walking up there, whoever is, I think if everyone's close enough to me, I'm going to kind of turn and clearly looking very shaken. Those physicians. That's what I was. It's that from my dream.
The mask?
I think so.
Okay. We should stick close.
So everyone on the stage starts trailing off, and you can see through the crowd, Cressida kind of looking around as the head doctor that she referred to is talking to her, and she's just kind of leading them to where her offices are, and she's just obviously looking around her, walking with them towards her offices, but clearly
can we catch her eye?
Right, definitely. And if you like rush forward, she definitely is like, "Oh, Commissioner, Commissioner!" And like she smiles, but Confidence, I think you know her well enough that she's like, "Oh my God, thank God! Oh my God, you're like, holy shit!"
I'm gonna kind of catch her eye and say, "I'm so sorry, Field Marshal. We have something urgent we need to discuss with you. If we could have a moment of your time in private."
Yes, of course. Please. I was just escorting Dr. Davalis here to my offices so that we could talk about what's going on in the city. But by all means, and the doctor kind of looks, this tall, slender man, and him and the Gray Maiden like continue on, just without even saying a word to you all. Sorry, I don't have much time. We need to get into planning meetings to figure out what to do. But thank goodness you're here. What's up?
I was going to ask you the same question. This is a remarkably quick response, given, the lack of response to earlier crises in her reign, don't you think?
We've been up all night gathering healers from inside Corvosa, and the word's gone out to healers outside to the nearby holdings as well. I think there were like 50 different writers hired to scribble the missives that are being passed out. And you can she points over, and those notes that you were getting, all of the guards they're being handed those as part of their assignment.
You holding up all right?
I should be fine. The doctor's pretty boring, but he seems well-meaning. Corditra, on the other hand, she's cold.
Is that who that is?
Do you want to come with? I'm sure your steely mind would be a resource in these meetings.
I'd be happy for the whole team to come if that's all right.
I won't say no to everyone, but do you think your resources would be best used that way?
I'm gonna kind of
splitting the party.
I'm gonna look at them and say, maybe if you all wanted to get a head start on that business in Old Corvosa, I can meet you there.
Field Marshal Croft, have these orders been given to the Sable Company too, or just to the Corvosan Guard?
To be honest, I don't know what's going on with the commander. I haven't heard anything from him.
I was there this morning, but I haven't seen him today. I actually haven't seen him much at all recently.
She scratches the back of her head and looks down at her boots, scuffs the ground a little bit with the toe of her foot. Well, shall we?
I'm gonna kind of nod to her.
Confidence, are you going in alone, or should someone stay with you?
New scene. Would you join me?
Absolutely.
I could use your insight.
I would love to come. I'd like to help Ashani. I realize I met multiple NPCs here.
Yeah.
I would love to help coordinate efforts between the bank and the rest of the city's resources.
Yes, and my promise, and I turn to Cressida and say, Field Marshal, may I present Brother Ishani Daughtry of the Bank of Abadar.
Greetings, he bows deeply.
Been given dispensation to assist the Corvosan Intelligence Agency during this time.
Oh, wow. That's... I'm not playing the right... oh, wonderful. It's great to see that the bank is here with us. And she shakes his hand, and he kind of winces a little bit with her her metal glove. By all means. So I think confidence is the...
You cut out after by all means.
By all means. And so then she leads you into a big conference room. Confidence, Ishani, and New Scene.
As New Scene is leaving, they will hand Ivor a note. It's got a list. I can say it out loud, or I can send it to you. Whichever you want.
Or maybe Ivor
Human,
can read
were-rat,
out loud.
werebore, and werewolf. Wyverns, drakes, tieflings, halflings, elves, orc, gnome, darrow, and boggards. However, on the back,
Jesus.
fun fact, wish list, Tengu, giant, dragon, gnoll, merfolk, Vishkanya, and exclamation mark / underline changeling.
Wow. Wow.
Ivor just he creates a little spark in his hand and he just lights the paper on fire
That's rude.
and watches it just burn up because no one else ever needs to read that.
I think
Last time I did something
Ursian
nice.
watches the pyrotechnics. I'm going to return to the old dock. I've got some work to do there.
Well, we're coming with you. We have to go find that
Yeah.
guy,
Confidence wants
right?
us to do the we have to find gear rigs.
Let's go ask around.
Okay, Simran. You and I can do that mission. Clearly,
Wait.
Ursian has some other, I'm sure, very important things to do.
Yeah,
Wait,
Ursian is like he gives Ivor a wink. Like, don't you think that you two might be able to work better, and I'll deal with my contacts who know me there, and
Sure thing, Ursian. I'm sure we can handle it just fine.
We want to split up some more?
we've got a lot of ground to cover. It's a big
I mean,
city.
he clearly has something extremely important to do, and I'm not. Who am I to question his judgment? So and come on, you and I can handle this, right? We've got.
Have you seen me try to talk to people?
Well, maybe we won't have to do any talking. Maybe it's just investigating. We've got the whole universe on our side, right?
Oh, well, okay. If something's that important, is Corva going with you, or is she staying with us?
She can make her own decisions. So, Corva, what's it going to be?
You turn, and Corva's not there.
She does that sometimes.
What?
New scene. On your elbow, you feel a hand as Corva's like sneaking into the big conference meeting.
Oh.
Clever girl.
I want to kind of look at the three of them and just say, I don't think we'll be that long. I was just hoping you could ask around, check out the situation, and we'll meet you. You don't need to go rushing into things. We're trying to avoid conflict. We're just trying to let cooler heads prevail. I was really hoping, and I'm going to look at Ursian. I was really hoping that, as a local, you could help them with that.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. We'll stick together then. So be it.
Great.
I mean, good idea.
So excited. Thanks, Confidence.
I just want to take Ursian a couple steps away from everybody else, if that's okay.
I'll go.
Yeah. Do you... What's going on with you? You disappear for 2 months, and now the first time that we're trying to do something, you want to go off by yourself?
I know people in the old in old dock. I know old Corvosa well, and I might make more of an impact if I'm not dealing with people who, in an attempt not to speak, have pretended to be deaf in the past, as a reason not to open their mouths. They don't exactly always act
Worked
a
pretty
part.
well.
And so perhaps maybe I could find more information. If you want me to keep an eye on them, I will. If you want me to do it your way, I always will. But I was looking to take advantage of what I have been up to in the last 2 months, which is building some rapport with the inhabitants of the place we're investigating. I can take them back to my place. I can drift away if I need to. You're right. They should be watched, and we're stronger when we're together. Which is why I loathe to even leave you here in the first.
You should do what you think is best. I'm done giving you orders. You made that pretty clear.
We'll play it. Okay, we'll play it by ear. But Yeah. Yes. Meet me at my apartment when you're complete. In Old Dock. Just flat above the Sticky Mermaid.
I nod and turn and go after New Scene.
All right, kids. Looks like I'm the head babysitter in the KIA today.
Don't call me kid.
Okay. Sorry. All right.
It's like, I mean, think before calling the grown-ass woman with the sword a kid.
I don't know. You're still in school.
Yeah, advanced education. That's what adults do.
I wouldn't know.
Great. Let's go get this information and get this mission over with. It's going to be so much fun.
So, inside back at the meeting, everyone kind of sits down. But all of these physicians are there in their wide-brimmed hats. But one by one, they all start taking them off, revealing themselves to be human of various backgrounds and identities. Dr. Devalis is there. He's a clean-shaven, like I said, very charming man in a brown long coat. And with him is the quartermaster of the Grey Maidens herself, Corditra Distade, the blonde woman described earlier. There's talks, Ashani just explains what the bank has seen so far, and there's plenty of talk of quarantining for certain parts of the city, making sure, putting barricades and blockers on most paths heading south through the city from North Point and into the Heights. But Corva, after a while, is like, isn't anyone going to ask about the ship that the guards sunk last night? And she stares at the field marshal, who nods. Yeah, that's a good point. We all we got was a name, the Direction. Oops, am I lagging?
Just for a bit. And
Did
then
you get the name?
Yes.
The direction?
The Direction. I had our bookkeepers pull shipping records, and she points to a table that covered in books. But we haven't had a chance to dig through them yet.
Can I volunteer to do so?
This team just raises their hand. I'll help.
I volunteer as tribute.
And Corva nods and goes
I get
over
that
to start
reference.
going through things with you. So take a +2 on this check. Knowledge local, please.
Okay. Knowledge local. Alrighty. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna use my once per day boost to make sure I do well on this check.
So your skin glows.
Mm-hmm. All of a
I
sudden.
think as she's doing that, I'm also casting guidance on
All right,
the scene,
cool,
which may
cool.
hopefully
Guidance is morale based,
incidentally
right?
provides. No, I don't think it is. I believe it's
Okay.
a sacred bonus, but I'll double check for you.
Right.
There it is. Okay. Oh, it's a +8 bonus. Yikes. All right. And then guidance is a +1.
Uh-huh.
And
Let me
+2 from
double check
Corva's
here.
help.
Okay, so I get a plus.
It's a competence bonus, actually.
If you're like roll a 3.
Check. Yeah. It's a +8. Wow. I roll.
Oh boy.
It was
rolled
a
a natural
natural
one.
1 for a 19. That gave me a +18.
Wow.
I hope the DC wasn't 20.
Wow.
So once a day. Oh,
Oh
That
my
sucks.
yeah, that really
So you're
sucks.
going through and just nothing. There's so much here, and the amount of sheer data to just pour through, even with Corva's help. By the end of this meeting, unless there was something specific you wanted to talk about confidence during the meeting.
I'm mostly just listening. And just trying to get a read on these people and how they feel about the situation and sort of like what their priorities are, stuff like that.
Right. And Dr. Davalis begins to speak a little bit about that. Well, I'm proud to say that we are hard at work at getting the Hospice of the Blessed Maiden up to snuff to start taking patients of this disease. Hopefully, we hope that by first thing tomorrow morning we can start opening beds. He tells you where the hospice is located in Midland. Not far from Zalara's home, actually.
Who's the Blessed Maiden?
You ask? Well, you're not there.
I'm not there. Is that something that we should know, though?
I was gonna say, would that be something I would have heard of? I assume.
The Blessed Maiden. That I'm sure I'm totally not being subtle at all right now.
I don't know. Maybe that's the name of like one of the well-known gods, Saren Ray or somebody like that.
Yeah, my assumption was gonna be Sarah.
Yeah. Then it's something that like we'd probably know.
Right, it would be Saren Ray. That makes sense. She's a healing goddess.
It would be.
Wow.
Can I sense motive the DM?
I'm so sorry.
So believable.
That just wasn't even. Well, our dear Queen Iliosa is the most blessed of all of the maidens. And Corditra just nods when he says that. Agreed, she says. It's like the one word she said.
Maybe maiden has different meanings in different
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
So the real word maiden means virgin. So the married queen, who's only queen because of marriage, probably doesn't need that qualification, but who
But
knows?
also, who
Not
thinks the
gonna
Grey
judge.
Maidens are virgins either?
Right.
I know for a
It's
fact that some of them
problematic
aren't.
word no matter what.
Some of them do tell.
Ooh.
More than one?
Yeah, also Henny is married. Or she has a partner. I don't know if they're actually married.
That's what
They're- But they're like partners.
Right. So, yeah, he talks about his resources at the Hospice of the Blessed Maiden. So what did the Simran, Ivor, and Ursion? You all head to Old Corvosa.
We do.
Yep.
And what's the plan?
Well, we know the street corner that the woman told Confidence to go to, and I mean, we need to check out the sewers, right?
Oh.
That's where this guy Gear Rigs probably is.
Well, should we ask around to see if anyone's seen him around elsewhere before we go down there and just bumble around?
Sure, yeah.
Hey, Ursian, you said you know people around here. Do you know anyone we could ask?
Yes.
All right, lead the way. We'll follow. And we'll let you do the talking.
Great. Wonderful. All right. I make my way into the.
Hey, that was a conciliatory gesture.
I I know, but Ursion is still trying to figure these out with his figure out what to do with his admirable intellect. So I think I'm gonna walk into the Sticky Mermaid, as is near my home.
All right. Who's your bartender there?
I think today it's Nellick. As I write that down for the first time.
Chris, are you speaking?
I think he's just reading.
Okay. I thought I saw his mouth move.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
His mouth is moving.
We can't hear you.
Say
Okay,
something
I'm
out
here.
loud.
I'm here now. It's
Okay,
funny because
good.
I had to catch all the way back up. Like it froze and then it just like caught
Oh,
up.
did that?
It, like
Oof.
fast forwarded.
I like the dramatic pause.
Who's your tender at the Sticky Mermaid?
Oh, it's someone by the name of Nelik.
Nellick.
Yep.
All right, Nellick at the Sticky Mermaid. They're a fine sort, quite androgynous looking, with like one ear covered in like little tiny rings. And they're not washing a cup because why? It's the Sticky Mermaid. Why would I
Yeah,
wash
part of the-
any?
Yeah, I
charm.
was gonna ask, what does the inside of this tavern look like? Does it live up to the name?
It's covered in a lot of sea scum. The sticky part is from the ground and all the beer and ale that have been splashed over the many years that this place has been open.
Okay.
It's still fairly early in the day. It's probably like mid-afternoon by this point. So it's not very crowded yet.
Any coughing or signs of sickness in here?
Probably.
Usual.
What did you say?
Said no more than usual.
Right. And Nelik themselves aren't affected. So they walk up and they're like, what's up? What can I get you?
What do you guys want?
Information.
Never
Are we
mind.
drinking? I'll take an ale.
Yeah, 3.
All right, here you go.
3 of the finest.
They just scoop up something from a barrel nearby and plop it down on the ground. Not the ground, the counter.
On the ground, we bend down, pick it up. It's half sloshed out.
And
That's why
behind your
it's so
back.
sticky.
It's a trough.
At least it's cheap.
Right. Say, someone
will
came by looking for you
Take
earlier.
her club cup with Ivor.
Looking for me? Who?
Right, yeah. I heard steps up top. There was a banging.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You mind if I, Okay. I'll go look into that in a minute. Do you know anything? I start looking. Do you know someone by the name of Gearigs?
Gearigs.
Sorry, can't say that I do.
Kind of a small sort, ratty.
Well, I don't think I've heard the
Persian.
name. Yes, Ivor.
We don't know that.
That's an appropriate term.
Yes.
Also, out
I
of
agree.
character, do we know that?
Well, have you guys talked
Yes.
about the
Yeah,
lycanthropy,
yeah.
the
Okay,
white
I
rat
believe
element?
you're
just wasn't
right.
sure how much confidence told us.
Were rat.
Oh yeah. I told you
Okay.
I
guys
don't
everything.
think that describing a were rat as ratty is like an appropriate thing to say. That sounds like a racial slur.
I think it's a description used for people, and lycanthropes of that variety take on specific traits, even in humanoid form, which becomes helpful for identifying them in Old Town, maybe?
No, I didn't. I don't know if I knew that.
Well, yeah, can't say I know him. Don't say I won't say I want to. Nelik says.
All right. Well, I look around. It's like how in terms of you've seen people making their ways, perhaps in an untoward manner into and out of specific sewer grates, perhaps in the deep of the night when you're coming off shift.
Listen, if I saw anything like that, there's no way I'd remember that. Not healthy to remember that.
Not healthy to forget these things sometimes when you're talking to me either.
Can you make a like a gather information, gather knowledge?
I can do that.
Yeah. We figure we just need a roll.
Yeah, not fair enough. I'm just trying to think. My gather information is solid.
Is that on here?
It's a diplomacy check.
Ew.
Yeah, I
But
get a.
sometimes you get special bonuses.
Yeah, I get a +2 to that, which only brings me to a whopping 2.
That's something.
Better than nothing. Oh, I rolled it.
I would have a
Sorry.
+0.
I have a line.
Oh, I'm putting this into chat. What am I doing? I'm
No, I have
on. This is what I did last time. I started typing not on D20, but into randomly into Twitch like a moron. So enjoy that nonsense from some lunatic. Maybe I can get thrown out
I still
by
don't
a
see
bot.
it.
Yeah, I think it gave me like an invalid. What are you trying to do?
Unrecognized
moron?
command.
I rolled a 2 + 2 for a 4.
Oh my god.
You get a 2 total
Wow.
to your diplomacy?
No, to my diplomacy for gathering information. I don't have any diplomacy,
Oh.
Ain't that the truth?
but I do have intimidate to have a +12.
I don't think you can gather information using intimidate.
I
Not
can
like
scare
Oh,
people
the way
and
that
tell
it
me the
works.
you've never
truth.
seen
Should be able
Batman?
to. Yeah.
Where are the other
Um,
drugs?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. No, I can't say I've seen anything like that.
Fair enough. All right, I go back and sit down and drink, and I watch.
Okay, so now we go into the sewers, right?
Hey, what was Nellick talking about with upstairs?
My apartment. I was gonna go take a look real quick. I know as eager as you are to get to the sewers, perhaps we can go take a look up in my flat.
Yep. I want to see where you live.
Say that now. You're about to be a grown-ass woman with a scimitar with a low opinion of me. And I start making my way up the creaky steps to the second floor.
Hey, I'm just curious where you've been these last 7 weeks.
Okay, it's pretty narrow up there, Chris. As I get to my door, I fish for my key with my left hand, and I pull out my hand axe for in close quarters with my right.
Okay.
Click.
Taking cue from him, Simran will pull out her scimitar.
Okay, I open the door quickly and step in.
You open the door and step in, and you see a woman sitting in the chair where you were sleeping not several hours ago. She's there with her feet up on a stool, and she, in one hand, she's twirling like a red mask, and in the other, she's flipping a hatchet in her hands, and she looks up. Oh. Well, hi. Nice to meet you.
Do I know this person?
You might. It is Asmodica.
Ominous name.
Uh-huh. Hi. How's it going?
Well,
Nice to meet
thank
you both.
Nice to meet you as well. What are you doing in my home?
I thought I'd give you a little visit. I was curious. Heard a lot about you. Ursion?
That is the name.
I'm
Welcome.
Asmodica, but most people call me Asmo. Nice to meet you both.
Yeah, you're in my home. We have weapons drawn. What are you doing here?
She flips her hatchet one last time, and it flips into a sheath on her back.
Mhm.
She catches it.
Sick move.
Yeah, I pretend like do a pantomime of pretending like my hand axe is also something I'm good at handling and just stick it back in my pocket.
Let's just say a mutual acquaintance wanted me to pass on the message. We're moving up the timeline. Sunset.
Yeah, that's like tonight.
If you could let our friend know, that'd be great.
It complicates things a little bit, I imagine.
Well, I'm sure we'd love to hear all about that.
Well, I'll pass the message.
Great. And as she is leaving, she like turns and looks at you, Simran. She like looks you up and down. She's like, just gives you a little curt head nod as she walks down the stairs back to the street.
Back off.
Simran definitely blushes very slightly that you can see through her skin tone.
And like she grins and she's missing a couple teeth. It's just like, all right, see you later.
Ugh,
She was
Sorry, son.
very forward.
agreed. And strange that she would be here.
She's not sick, also.
Do
Percy?
people usually make their way into your house when you're not expecting them to?
I hope not.
Are you a secret agent?
Why would you say that?
In the Cerebus Society?
The Cerulean Society?
So that one? That
Are
one.
you in the Cerulean Society?
No.
She was like, oh, we're moving up the timeline. Your friend, my friend, our mutual friend. Code, 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 code. It's okay if you are. I will not tell
We're cool with the Cerulean Society.
Yeah.
It's just some old doc business. That's kind of why I wanted to come alone. I've got connections and they're very wary. So I
Okay,
have
but are
to.
they
DM, can I
Where
insight this
Ratty
dude or
is-
sense motive my buddy Ursian?
No, not when it comes to this.
Okay. Old doc
Seamless.
business? Huh?
Seamless. It is seamless.
Right. I work in the old dock. I work with bouncers. That people. I am an agent who passes things along to people, and the entirety of my ability to do so is based on the discretion I have, and I don't spill secrets to people, even my trusted friends. So I try to keep my trusted friends from being around me when I'm doing this kind of business, so we don't fall into these awkward situations that
Hey.
we find ourselves.
You never said you were doing another job.
I never.
We came here on KIA business. We didn't know you had other stuff going on. Are you busy? Do we need to leave?
I would be perfectly happy to leave.
I think I might need to take care of some business, also in service of the KIA. But the less you know about it, the better.
If it's KIA business, I do think we should know about it. Totally fine for you to have your secrets, of course, but if it's about the KIA, I mean, that has to be collaborative.
Right. I have to go talk to people who are going to help us with our KIA business, but they need to remain anonymous.
So
that
you're going to use your doc connections to get information for the KIA.
Correct.
Okay, well, you could have just said that. Jeez. Okay.
Thank you. Go to the sewers. I will meet you there.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, how are Confidence and Nucine going to find us?
I'll leave a note for them. They're coming. They're supposed to meet me here. I'll give them a note to where you're going.
Okay.
And I start like reaching for like some like charcoal and some like stack of random like cheap, like really crappy pulpy paper and start like, underhand drawing a note.
Should we expect to see you tonight?
I
At
hope
all?
so.
Okay.
I imagine yes. Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there.
All
I'll start
right.
writing the note.
Say hi to Asmo for us.
I hopefully
or
won't see her.
You don't have to say hi to her from either of us.
I put the address and I draw like a crude map and I say meet KIA there. And I put it on my door and like put one of my throwing axes into it. That should work. So
right.
Catch up with you guys later.
I guess.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See you soon. And I like almost like shove you out the door as I close it behind you.
Happy to be shoved.
Ursian's weird. He got weird over the last 2 months. Was he always this weird?
I feel like he was always weird, and it just took us a while to really see it.
Now I don't feel so bad about myself.
You shouldn't feel bad about yourself at all.
Chris,
I remember when I first realized that Ursion was weird.
You realized it right away. You were like, he doesn't have a home. What?
No, I mean it was pretty early on but it was like it was after we started. You went to visit Confidence's family, and I didn't understand until I realized I was like, oh, he's homeless. This is weird.
I'm going to start taking 1 minute to prepare myself before leaving through the window.
Weird.
Casual.
You know,
So I'm gonna grab the camera
okay.
Oh,
as from one side of the building, Ivor and Simran walk away, like going down the stairs and walk down the street. And a moment later, just kind of like we see this form dart out of the back window. And the camera zooms up over Old Corvosa. And we can see, following Ivor and Simran, is a small, black-clad figure. Halfling Blackjack, stalking them on the roofs. And with that, we'll end our session.
Dun dun dun.
Da, da, da. Yes. So, for everyone who was watching with us tonight, Great Zamino, Veldrin of Shadow, thank you for hanging out with us. Everyone
I saw
else
Des in there.
also in here. Yes, Des. I saw Des chatting. Looking at the group right now. Legendary Action, of course, always a pleasure to hang out with you. Definitely saw my mom and my sister in at some point. although they're
Aw.
I
not
saw
here
them at the
now.
beginning, yeah.
And Panda Chew, hi! I see you in Screed chat, the chat room. And my brother is there, Yozo. Nice.
Oh.
Wow, it's a
Family
whole
time.
Bernal
Ooh.
family reunion.
They're good about turning me on at night and
Uh,
just leaving it. God damn it.
Cut the mic, cut the mic, cut the mic.
We've
Oh, boy.
got other shows on Manapot. You can check the games calendar down below. Follow us on social medias: Twitters, Facebooks, Instagrams, YouTubes.
Stop doing that.
And phrasing.
Stop pluralizing everything. It's killing me. The Facebooks, the Instagrams.
I can't wait to be like 60 years old and just not knowing anything about what the kids are doing today.
Snapchat's still gonna be popular.
Hey, Fabrizian. Yeah, you came just at the right time to miss the session.
Just at the right time
But
to rewatch it from the beginning.
exactly. Make sure everybody tunes in next week as we go down into the sewers to deal with Giriggs and his gang of were-rats.
Ivor and Simmer are totally prepared for this.
Yeah, let's hope they don't die.
What a romantic outing.
Ivor and Simran have the greatest dates.
Hey, you know what? Romances are forced through very strange things sometimes, and
Yeah.
shared near-death experiences is a common one.
Look, our first date, we went up into the air. Then we went inside Ivor's mind. Now we're going underground. You got to switch it up.
Yeah. A+ for originality there.
No matter what, it can't be worse than your last date, I think, so. Won't find any disturbing secrets about your heritage.
Oh, yeah.
You never do know.
Well,
You never
Simmer doesn't
know.
know that.
but like, what if we do find out disturbing secrets about my heritage? Like, what if my mom and her like devil cult or whatever are the people who brought the plague to Corvosa?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they are, but
We can talk
don't
about it in
know
the
that.
Discord.
Talk
Yeah,
about it in the
make sure you-
Discord.
Make sure you join us in the Discord, where we have a special A Cage Sustained channel. And sometimes I post special things there that I don't post elsewhere. Of course, I also post things on Twitter that I don't post everywhere else.
and
so
on
you might have to-
Instagram.
Sometimes on Instagram. Mostly it's Discord and YouTube Discord and Twitter that I give the special stuff to. But you should follow us everywhere so that you can see all of this.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we're going to end the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll all see you soon.
Thanks,
Come game
guys.
with us.
Hey guys.
And gals and everything else.
Bye, peeps.